Rain gathered softly on the windshield. Red light shimmered across the glass. The city moved through another evening, like any other night before. A name appeared upon my dashboard, one I hadn't seen in years. For a moment I simply stared as memories filled the car. The lights stayed red, the phone kept ringing, and time seemed to wait. It was the call I almost didn't answer, the voice I never thought I'd hear again. A bridge appearing through the distance, where silence used to stand. One small moment changed the evening, one hello rewrote the night. It was the call I almost didn't answer, and I'm grateful that I did. You laughed before you said much else, the same way you always used to do. And suddenly the years between us felt smaller than they ever had. We spoke about ordinary things, the places life had carried us, the people we'd become along the way, and the dreams that somehow survived. Some connections fade quietly, others simply wait. It was the call I almost didn't answer, the voice I never thought I'd hear again. A bridge appearing through the distance, where silence used to stand. One small moment changed the evening, one hello rewrote the night. It was the call I almost didn't answer, and I'm grateful that I did. The rain continued falling softly, traffic rolled beneath the city lights. But everything felt different now, as if the world had shifted slightly, not through something dramatic, just through two people reconnecting. It was the call I almost didn't answer, chance I nearly let pass by. A reminder that some friendships can survive the longest miles. The signal faded near the river, the conversation reached its end. It was the call I almost didn't answer, in the beginning of something again.
Rain painted silver lines across the river, neon reflections drifted with the current. The bridge stretched through the darkness, connecting two sides of the city. I stood beneath the shelter of the station, watching headlights move through the storm. thinking about how distance changes people and how some connections survive. The water kept moving, the rain kept falling, but something was finding its way back. Rain falling over neon bridges, like memories crossing through the years. Every drop carrying a different story, every light reflecting what remains. The city disappears behind the weather, yet some past continues shining through. Rain falling over neon bridges, leading me back to you. Message appeared upon my screen, simple words after such a long silence. No explanations were necessary, no need to revisit every mile. Sometimes life circles unexpectedly, returning us to places we once knew, not to relive what happened there, but to see it with different eyes. The strongest bridges aren't built from steel, they're built from understanding. Rain falling over neon bridges, like memories crossing through the years. Every drop carrying a different story, every light reflecting what remains. The city disappears behind the weather, yet some past continue shining through. Rain falling over neon bridges, leading me back to you. The train crossed slowly above the river, its windows glowing through the mist, and for a moment everything felt connected. The water, the lights, the years between us, the things we lost, the things we found, and the roads that brought us here. Rain falling over neon bridges, the storm beginning to fade away. The river carrying all reflections toward a brighter kind of day. The city shimmered in the distance, the future opened into view. Rain falling over neon bridges, and every road led somewhere true. The first few minutes felt unfamiliar, like opening a book left untouched for years. Your voice carried traces of the past, it sounded wiser somehow. We laughed about things we'd forgotten, remembered things we thought we'd lost, and slowly the distance between us began dissolving into conversation. Years passed quietly, but recognition arrived instantly. Years between two voices, Yet somehow connection remade. Different lives, different roads, different storms and different days. Time built entire worlds around us, but never erased what was true. Years between two voices, and still I recognized you. Oh. Outside, the train rolled through the suburbs, street lights sliding across the glass. Families gathered behind warm windows, living ordinary evenings of their own. And I realized how many relationships disappear simply because no one calls. Not because the feeling is gone, but because life becomes loud. Some friendships sleep, they do not end. Years between two voices, yet somehow connection remains. Different lives, different roads, different storms and different days. Time builds entire worlds around us, but never erased what was true. Years between two voices, and still I recognized you. Silence that once felt permanent now seems surprisingly small compared to everything that survived it. Years between two voices, and neither of us remained the same. Yet the kindness, the laughter, the understanding still remain. The city faded beyond the darkness. Morning waited somewhere ahead. Years between two voices, and a friendship reborn instead. The first cold wind arrived in November, carrying leaves across the avenue. The city felt different somehow, as though it knew the season was ending. I found your message while clearing old emails, hidden beneath years of forgotten things. A few simple words sent long ago that I never fully understood. Sometimes meaning arrives late, long after the words were written. The last message before winter, still waiting quietly in the dark. A small light preserved inside the silence, like an ember protecting a spark. The years covered everything around it, but never erased its truth. The last message before winter still carried a piece of you. Outside, commuters hurried home, scarves wrapped tightly against the cold. Inside the station cafe, the windows glowed with warmth and light. I read those lines a second time, hearing your voice between the words, and realized how much kindness survives even after distance takes hold. Some messages are never forgotten because they arrive at the right moment. The last message before winter, still waiting quietly in the dark. A small light preserved inside the silence, like an ember protecting a spark. The years covered everything around, but never erased. It's true, the last message before winter still carried a piece of you. Snow began falling beyond the platform, soft against the city lights. And for a moment I felt gratitude for every conversation we once shared. The last message before winter no longer belongs to regret, only to a chapter that mattered, and the lessons I still protect. The train departed through the snowfall, the evening faded into blue. The last message before winter became a bridge that carried me through.
The river separated two skylines, two neighborhoods glowing in the night. Across the water I could see lights shining through a distant window. Somewhere beyond that shoreline, someone I cared about was living their life. Different mornings, different routines, under the same moon above us both. Distance can divide a map, but not always a connection. Lights across the other shore, calling softly through the dark. A reminder that the people we love still exist beyond our sight. The water moves between us, yet the feeling remains unchanged. Lights across the other shore, guiding hope across the way. Oh, oh. A ferry crossed the river slowly, its reflection trembling on the current. Passengers stood beneath the rain, heading toward homes and familiar faces. I wondered how many reunions waited on both sides of the water tonight. How many stories were finding their way back across invisible bridges. Not every journey is measured in miles, some are measured in courage. Lights across the other shore, calling softly through the dark. A reminder that the people we love still exist beyond our sight. The water moves between us, yet the feeling remains unchanged. Lights across the other shore, guiding hope across the way. The rain eased above the river, clouds drifted slowly apart, and the reflections grew brighter, as if the city itself was answering. Lights across the other shore, no longer feeling far away. The distance seems smaller now, the future seemed closer. Somehow, the river carried silver reflections toward the promise of a new day. Lights across the other shore, showing me the way. The train arrived just after midnight, its windows reflecting scattered rain. I watched familiar stations disappear, one by one into the dark. You used to know these streets by heart, the shortcuts, cafés, hidden parks. Now someone else walks those sidewalks, while I carry only the memory. The city remained the same, but our lives moved elsewhere. A city we no longer share, yet somehow it still belongs to both of us. Every corner holds a chapter, every street remembers who we were. The lights continue shining nightly, though the years have changed the view. The city we no longer share still quietly connects us. A bookstore stood beside the platform, the same old sign above the door. We spent entire afternoons there, dreaming about places we'd someday see. Now those dreams have taken different forms, scattered across different maps. Yet seeing that familiar building felt like opening a forgotten photograph. Places hold stories long after people leave them. A city we no longer share, yet somehow it still belongs to both of us. Every corner holds a chapter, Every street remembers who we were. The lights continue shining nightly, though the years have changed the view. A city we no longer share still quietly connects us. Cross beneath the bridge, carrying reflections through the rain. And I realize not everything meaningful needs to remain close to endure. A city we no longer share, but one we'll always understand. The skyline fading in the distance, like a song we both still know. The train continued toward tomorrow. The night unfolded calm and blue. A city we no longer share, yet somehow still feels true. Spring arrived while I was moving. Summer passed in unfamiliar streets. Autumn painted gold across the river. Winter followed quietly behind. The years unfolded like a calendar, turning pages without permission. Yet every season carried traces of a connection that remained. Time changed the landscape, but never changed the feeling. Waiting through different seasons, watching the years come and go. Some promises travel slowly, like rivers beneath winter snow. The world kept changing around me, yet one truth continued to grow. Waiting through different seasons, believing what mattered would show. A woman sat across the carriage, reading letters tied with ribbon. An old man smiled at a photograph before returning to his coat. Everyone seemed to be carrying something, a memory, a hope, a name, proof that the heart measures time differently than the calendar does. Patience isn't standing still, it's continuing forward. Waiting through different seasons, watching the years come and go. Some promises travel slowly, like rivers beneath winter snow. The world kept changing around me, yet one truth continued to grow. Waiting through different seasons, believing what mattered would show.
outside. The first flowers of spring appeared, breaking through the soil beside the tracks, and suddenly the future felt closer than it had in a very long time. Wading through different seasons, no longer feeling lost in time. The years became part of the journey instead of something left behind. The horizon opened brightly, the morning painted everything gold. Wading through different seasons and finally watching life unfold.
Thunder rolled above the river, clouds gathered over the city lights. The bridge stood firm against the weather, stretching across the darkened water. I stopped beneath its steel arch, listening to the rain strike the pavement, thinking about every relationship that survives difficult years. Storms reveal the strength of what was built to last. The bridge beneath the storm, holding steady through the rain, while the wind carried uncertainty and the sky forgot its calm. Some connections are like that, tested but never torn apart. The bridge beneath the storm, still standing in the dark. A taxi crossed above the river, its headlights cutting through the mist. Far away, an apartment window glowed like a lighthouse in the distance. And I realized resilience isn't loud, rarely asks for attention. It simply remains present when everything else is shaking. The strongest bonds are often quiet, yet impossible to break. The bridge beneath the storm, holding steady through the rain, while the wind carried uncertainty and the sky forgot its calm. Some connections are like that, tested but never torn apart. The bridge beneath the storm, still standing in the dark, 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 dark. The storm slowly moved eastward, the river settled beneath the lights, and the bridge remained exactly where it was, waiting for another dawn. The bridge beneath the storm, now glowing beneath the clearing sky. The rain became reflections The thunder faded into memory. The city breathed a little softer. The future shimmered into view. The bridge beneath the storm had carried me through. The house looked smaller than I remember. The fence carried traces of passing years. The maple tree near the driveway had grown taller than the roofline now. I parked beneath the fading sunlight, taking a breath before I knocked, then heard familiar paws approaching faster than I could react. Years had passed quietly, but some hearts never forget. The dog that still remembered me ran through the doorway like no time had passed. No question about the years between us, no concern for everything we'd missed. Just joy moving through the afternoon, like sunlight breaking through the clouds. The dog that still remembered me showed me what loyalty means. His muzzle carried touches of gray now, the same eyes still filled with light. He circled me with endless excitement, as if I had only left yesterday. And suddenly every mile I traveled, every city and every train, felt smaller than the simple kindness of being welcomed home again. Some reunions arrive without words. You'd say everything. The dog that still remembered me ran through the doorway like no time had passed. No questions about the years between us, no concern for everything we'd missed. Just joy moving through the afternoon, like sunlight breaking through the clouds. The dog that still remembered me showed me what loyalty means. Oh, oh, oh. The porch swing moves softly in the breeze, my old friend resting at my feet. And for a while the world felt simple in the best possible way. The dog that still remembered me reminded me that love keeps its own time, not measured by calendars or distance, not limited by years apart. The evening settled over the neighborhood. The first stars appeared above. The dog that still remembered me welcomed me back with love.
The restaurant stood beside the river, exactly where it always had. The same lanterns hanging above the patio, the same reflections dancing on the water. I arrived a little earlier than planned, watching boats drift beneath the bridge, wondering how many versions of ourselves had existed since we last met. Time changes people, but not every connection. The table reserved after all these years, waiting quietly beside the river lights, a place where unfinished conversations could finally continue tonight. The distance sat down beside us and slowly disappeared from view. A table reserved after all these years, and somehow it still felt true. You smiled the moment you saw me, the kind of smile memory protects, not because it never changes, but because it always feels familiar. We spoke about the lives we built, the lessons learned along the way, and how the years had carried us to this exact evening. Some friendships return naturally, as if no time has passed. A table reserved after all these years, waiting quietly beside the river lights, a place where unfinished conversations could finally continue tonight. The distance sat down beside us, then slowly disappeared from view. A table reserved after all these years, and somehow it still felt true. The way to clear the final plates, yet neither of us wanted to leave, because certain moments arrive rarely and deserve to be lived fully. The table reserved after all these years, now glowing softly in memory. The river carried reflections downstream, the city shimmered peacefully beyond. We stood and promised not to wait so long before meeting again. A table reserved after all these years became a beginning instead. Oh. The bridge connected two neighborhoods, separated by water and passing year. I walked beneath the evening lights, thinking about everything that had changed. The message had been simple: would you like to meet tomorrow? Yet those 5 words carried enough weight to fill the entire night. Some invitations seem small until they change everything. Crossing back into your life, one step at a time through the rain. to relive what happened before, but to discover what remains. The years build distance between us, yet never erase the view. Crossing back into your life and finding my way to you. The river flowed beneath the bridge, carrying reflections toward the sea, just as time had carried us through separate chapters of our lives. But standing there I understood, some stories are not interrupted, they simply pause for a while before continuing again. The heart remembers past, the mind believes are gone. Crossing back into your life, one step at a time through the rain, not to relive what happened before, but to discover what remains. The years built distance between us, yet never erase the view. Crossing back into your life and finding my way to you. The rain softened into mist, the city lights reflected on the river, and for the first time in years, the future felt familiar. Crossing back into your life, without expectations or fear, only gratitude for the chance to stand together here. The bridge stretched into the distance, the night open, calm and blue. Crossing back into your life and finding something true. The rain had finally stopped falling, leaving silver reflections on the pavement. The coffee shop stood beside the river, exactly as it did years ago. A bell rang softly above the doorway as I stepped into the warmth inside. The scent of roasted coffee and old wood felt strangely familiar. Some places wait patiently for the people who once belonged there. The coffee shop by the river, holding pieces of another time, where conversations drifted endlessly like boats beneath the evening lights. The years may have changed our stories, but something here survived. The coffee shop by the river, still keeping memories alive. You arrived carrying the same kindness, though the years had shaped us both. We spoke about cities and seasons, about mistakes and second chances. Outside, the river moved steadily onward, as if reminding us quietly that life never stops flowing, yet still makes room for return. Not every reunion needs answers. Sometimes presence is enough. The coffee shop by the river, holding pieces of another time, where conversations drifted endlessly like boats beneath the evening lights. The years may have changed our stories, but something here survived. The coffee shop by the river, still keeping memories alive. The owner closed the patio umbrellas. The sky turned deep shades of blue, and neither of us noticed the hour, because some moments deserve to linger. The coffee shop by the river, now glowing softly in my mind, a place where distance lost its meaning and old connections came alive. The river carried reflections onward, the city shimmered beyond the night. The coffee shop by the river brought two roads back together. The conversation never felt forced, not even after all those years. One story opened another, like lights turning on across the street. We laughed at things nobody else remembered, shared memories hidden from the world. And somewhere between the first coffee and the second, the distance disappeared. Some friendships don't need repairing, only reconnecting. We picked up where time left off, as if the years had simply stepped aside. No explanations, no rehearsed apologies, only honesty and familiar light. The world had changed around us, yet something essential remained true. We picked up where time left off, and somehow it felt brand new. Outside, bicycles cross the riverside path, children chase pigeons through the square. The ordinary beauty of the afternoon surrounded everything we said, and I realized how rare it is to meet someone who remembers not only who you became, but who you used to be. Recognition is a form of belonging. We picked up where time left off, as if the years had simply stepped aside. No explanations, no rehearsed apologies, only honesty and familiar light. The world had changed around us, yet something essential remained true. We picked up where time left off, and somehow it felt brand new. The river reflected the afternoon sun. The city moved around us quietly, and for a while there was nothing missing. We picked up where time left off, not because nothing had changed, but because the connection survived everything that tried to separate it. The day slowly faded into evening. The first lights appeared across the view. We picked up where time left off, and found something stronger too. The attic smelled of dust and cedar. Sunlight entered through a narrow window. I was searching for old photographs when I found a small wooden box. Inside were letters tied together, written in handwriting I knew instantly. Fragments of you stored carefully away, waiting to be discovered again. Some words grow more meaningful as time passes. Letters hidden inside drawers, carrying voices from another life. Every page preserving the moment, every sentence holding the light. The years stayed folded between them, yet the feelings remained alive. Letters hidden inside drawers, still reaching across the time. One spoke of impossible dreams, another of fears never shared aloud. One described an ordinary afternoon that somehow became unforgettable. I smiled at how memory works, protecting small details from fading, while letting entire years drift away. The heart archives differently than the mind ever could. Letters hidden inside drawers, carrying voices from another life. Every page preserving the moment, every sentence holding the light. The years stayed folded between them, yet the feelings remained alive. Letters hidden inside drawers, still reaching across the time. Outside, rain began tapping softly against the attic window pane, as though the weather itself had paused to listen. Letters hidden inside drawers, no longer built belonging to the past alone. The stories continued breathing inside the person reading them now. The afternoon faded into evening. The room glowed warm and cold. Letters hidden inside drawers, still carrying their soul.
The rain had stopped an hour earlier, leaving mirrors across the avenue. The city glowed beneath the pavement, reflections like 1,000 quiet signals in the dark. We walked without deciding where to go, past bookstores, cafés, and closing lights, both knowing there were things unsaid, waiting somewhere between us. Some conversations take years to find the right night. The night we finally talked, without defenses, without fear, without pretending everything was simple, without hiding what was real. The distance lost its power slowly, with every honest word we shared. The night we finally talked became the bridge that brought us here. You spoke about the roads you'd follow, the mistakes that helped you grow. I spoke about the silence I carried and the things I never learned to say. The river moved beside us quietly. The city listened without judgment. And for the first time in years, nothing felt unfinished. Truth doesn't always solve everything, but it always creates space to heal. The night we finally talked, without defenses, without fear, without pretending everything was simple, without hiding what was real. The distance lost its power slowly, with every honest word we shared. The night we finally talked became the bridge that brought us here. Train crossed above the river, its lights moving through the darkness, like a reminder that every journey eventually reaches a turning point. The night we finally talked no longer belongs to memory alone. It belongs to every tomorrow, built from that conversation. The city faded into midnight. The river carried reflections through the night we finally talked.
change more than either of us knew. Morning arrived beneath silver clouds. The river carried yesterday downstream. Rain lingered softly on the sidewalks, turning the city into a moving painting. I walked alone beside the waterfront, thinking about everything that had changed, not through dramatic moments, but through small acts of courage. Sometimes transformation arrives quietly, like sunlight behind the clouds. Reflections between the rain, showing me who I've become. Not the person who started this journey, but not someone entirely new. The water carried pieces of the past. The sky opened toward the blue. Reflections between the rain revealed a different view. Families crossed the bridge together. Cyclists followed the riverside path. A street musician played near the station, filling the air with something hopeful. And suddenly the city felt warmer, less like a place to pass through, and more like a collection of lives moving beside my own. Healing isn't forgetting, it's learning how to carry things differently. Reflections between the rain, showing me who I've become. Not the person who started this journey, but not someone entirely new. The water carried pieces of the past. The sky opened toward the blue. Reflections between the rain revealed a different view. The clouds slowly drifted apart. Lights spilled across the river's surface, and everything looked brighter without changing at all. Reflections between the rain, the storm now living only in memory. The bridge is standing quietly behind me, the future waiting patiently ahead. The river carried silver light toward horizons still unseen. Reflections between the rain showed me what hope can mean.
Oh. The bridge appeared beyond the river, bathed in the soft glow of evening lights. For weeks I've been moving forward, without knowing where the road would end. Yet something felt different tonight, like a song returning to its core, like a traveler recognizing the landscape long before reaching home. Some destinations aren't places, they're feelings we've been searching for. Home waiting beyond the bridge, beyond the miles that pass and years, beyond the storms that shape the journey, beyond the doubts and hidden fears. The lights reflected on the water, like promises shining through the night. Home waiting beyond the bridge, finally coming into sight. Family walked beside the river, children laughing beneath the tree. A dog pulled gently at its leash, eager to reach familiar streets. And suddenly I understood how much comfort lives in belonging. Not because life becomes easier, but because we no longer walk alone. The heart recognizes home before the eyes ever do. Home waiting beyond the bridge, beyond the miles and passing years, beyond the storms that shape the journey, beyond the doubts and hidden fears. The lights reflected on the water, like promises shining through the night. Home waiting beyond the bridge, finally coming into sight. The train crossed slowly overhead, its windows glowing against the dark, and everything that once felt distant now seemed close enough to touch. Home waiting beyond the bridge, the river carrying silver light, the city breathing softly behind me, the future opening bright. The journey had changed me forever, yet something remained true. Home waiting beyond the bridge, and I was finally coming through. The neighborhood looked peaceful, wrapped in the quiet colors of evening. The same trees lined the sidewalks, the same houses rested beneath the stars. At the end of the street, a single light glowed warm against the deep blue sky. And for a moment I stood still, taken in the sight. Some gestures seem small until you realize what they mean. The porch light stayed on through every season I was gone.
A silent promise in the darkness, a reminder I still belong. The world kept turning without me, yet something remained unchanged. The porch light stayed on and guided me home again. The front door opened before I reached it. A familiar smile appeared inside. No speeches, no dramatic moments, just warmth waiting patiently. The kind of love that asks for nothing except that you arrive safely. The kind of love that survives everything life places in its way. The strongest forms of care often speak without words. The porch light stayed on through every season I was gone. A silent promise in the darkness, a reminder I still belong. The world kept turning without me, yet something remained unchanged. The porch light stayed on and guided me home again. The evening settled around the neighborhood, crickets singing in the distance, and for the first time in years I felt completely at peace. The porch light stayed on long after the road had ended, long after the rain had passed, long after the waiting was done. The stars appeared above the rooftops, the night felt warm and bright. The porch light stayed on and everything felt right. The room was filled with conversation. Old friends gathered around the table, stories overlapping with laughter like songs everyone still remembered. The years had changed our appearances, added chapters to our lives, yet the sound of familiar voices made time feel strangely flexible. Some bonds survive distance because they were built on something real. Familiar laughter in a different year, echoing through the evening air. Proof that time can change the details without erasing what we share. The faces may be older now, the dreams may wear a different shape. Familiar laughter in a different year, still carrying the same light. Photographs cover the living room walls, snapshots from forgotten summer trips we barely remember taking, moments we'd almost left behind, and every picture seemed to say that life is less about perfection, more about the people who walk beside us through it. Memories grow richer when shared with others, familiar laughter in a different year, echoing through the evening air, proof that time can change the details without erasing what we shared. The faces may be older now, the dreams may wear a different shape, familiar laughter in a different year, still carrying the same light. Outside, rain began falling softly against the windows of the house inside. Nobody seemed to notice, too busy enjoying the moment. Familiar laughter in a different year, now living somewhere in my heart, a reminder that true connection can survive any amount of time apart. The evening slowly drifted onward, the night wrapped gently around the room, familiar laughter in a different year, felt like coming home too.
For years I thought every journey was about reaching somewhere new, a different city, a different skyline, different version of myself. But standing there beside the river, watching evening settle on the water, I finally understood something simple that had taken years to learn. Not every road leads forward, some lead deeper. Some roads lead back to people, back to voices we never forgot, back to the hands that helped us stand when life became more than we thought. The distance teaches many lessons, but this one remains true. Some roads lead back to people, and sometimes they lead back to you. The train crossed slowly in the distance, its lights reflecting on the river below. Families gathered beneath restaurant patios, friends laughed beneath strings of light. The city felt less like a destination and more like a collection of lives, intertwined in ways we rarely noticed, until we stopped long enough to see the greatest arrivals are often human. Some roads lead back to people, Back to voices we never forgot. Back to the hands that helped us stand when life became more than we thought. The distance teaches many lessons, but this one remains true. Some roads lead back to people, and sometimes they lead back to you. The rain returned for a moment, soft against the river surface, then disappeared into the evening, leaving only reflections behind. Some roads lead back to people, the kind we carry through the years, the kind who remain part of us beyond the miles, changing fears. The river shimmered in the darkness, the night unfolded calm and blue. Some roads lead back to people, and I was grateful that they do.
The river had been there forever, long before any of our stories began, flowing beneath bridges and city lights, patient through every season. Tonight its surface mirrored everything, the buildings, the stars, the passing boats, and somehow it felt as though it carried more than water toward the sea. Some journeys happen quietly, without anyone noticing. The river carried us home, through years of change and winding roads, through every goodbye and every beginning, through storms we thought we'd face alone. The current never stopped moving, neither did the heart inside. The river carried us home, one reflection at a time. Children fed birds along the shoreline, couples walked beneath evening lights. A musician played near the bridge crossing, filling the air with something warm. And I realized that belonging is not a place we find once, it's something we keep discovering again and again throughout life. Home is often waiting in the people we love. The river carried us home, through years of change and winding roads, through every goodbye and every beginning, through storms we thought we'd face alone. The current never stopped moving, neither did the heart inside. The river carried us home, one reflection at a time. Ooh. The water flowed beneath the city, carrying silver fragments of light toward horizons still unseen, toward future still unfolding. The river carried us home, not to where we started, but to where we belong. The night settled softly around us, the stars emerged above the blue. The river carried us home, and everything felt true.
The first light touched the horizon, soft gold spreading across the water. The city wakened slowly behind us, windows glowing one by one.
For so long the journey had felt endless, measured in miles and missing pieces. Yet standing here beside the river, everything seemed different now.
Every night eventually teaches
the meaning of morning. After the distance came the dawn,
after the silence came the song,
after the years spent searching
came the feeling of belonging.
The horizon opened gently, the darkness finally withdrew. After the distance came the dawn, and a clearer view. Oh. Birds crossed above the bridges, following paths only they could see. And I thought about every choice that had brought me to this moment. The mistakes, the chances, the detours, the roads that seemed impossible then. All of them had become part of something larger than I knew. The journey makes sense only when we stop to look back. After the distance came the dawn, after the silence came the song, after the years spent searching came the feeling of belonging. The horizon opened gently, the darkness finally withdrew. After the distance came dawn, and a clearer view. The sunlight reached the river surface, turning silver into gold. And for a moment the entire world felt new again. After the distance came the dawn, and with it came understanding. Not every separation is an ending, not every delay is a loss. The city welcomed the morning, the future shimmered bright and true. After the distance came the dawn, and everything came into view. The clouds drifted slowly eastward, leaving pieces of blue above the river. The storm that followed us for so long had finally begun to fade. People gathered along the waterfront, enjoying the warmth of the afternoon. Children chased their shadows through the park while music floated through the air. Some days arrive quietly, yet change everything. Together under a clearing sky, watching the light return again. The rain became a distant memory, the river carried it away. The years no longer felt like barriers, only chapters in a larger story. Together under a clearing sky, feeling life unfold. We walked across the old bridge slowly, stopping halfway to watch the view. The city stretched beyond the water, bright and alive beneath the sun. For the first time in a long while, neither of us spoke about the past, because happiness was already present, standing there beside us. Peace arrives when we stop chasing it. Together under a clearing sky, watching the light return again. The rain became a distant memory, the river carried it away. The years no longer felt like barriers, only chapters in a larger story. Together under a clearing sky, feeling life unfold. A train crossed beyond the horizon, silver windows catching sunlight, and everything that once felt uncertain now felt beautifully open. Together under a clearing sky, the bridge is shining in the afternoon, the city breathing softly around us, the future glowing into view. The journey had led us here, through every mile and every storm. Together under a clearing sky, finally feeling home.
Mm.
The evening returned to the river, soft gold resting on the water. Bridges glowed beneath the twilight, like lines connecting every chapter. The journey had begun in distance, in unanswered calls and passing years. Now the city felt different somehow, not because it changed, but because I had. Every ending carries the shape of a beginning, where the rain finally ends, a new horizon begins. Beyond the storms we once carried, beyond the roads we've traveled, the river still moves toward tomorrow. The stars still rise above the blue, where the rain finally ends, life begins again. Life begins again.
I thought about the people from this journey, the friend who called after years of silence, the dog waiting at the doorway, the laughter around familiar tables,
the bridges crossed, the letters found, the conversations finally spoken and understood. Something simple, the greatest destinations are the connections we keep, where the rain finally ends, a new horizon begins. Beyond the storms we once carried, beyond the roads we've traveled, the river still moves toward tomorrow. The stars still rise above the blue, where the rain finally ends, life begins again. Night settled gently across the skyline,
reflections danced upon the water,
and for a moment every story
felt connected to every other.
Where the rain finally ends, the heart grows wider than before.
The world feels brighter than it did.
The future feels open once more.
The bridges shimmered in the distance, the river carried silver light.
Where the rain finally ends, everything feels right.